In this video, I'm going to be explaining the absolute biggest problem that marketing agencies face if they're looking to book meetings, if they're looking to sign clients, and if they're looking to scale their agency. And it's the problem of standing out. How do you stand out from the 10,000 other people offering the exact same service to the exact same people as you? And the problem with this is that the people who understand this, they make 10, 100, 1,000 times more than every other marketing agency, the 1% that understand this. And that leaves the 99% who don't understand this struggling to sign clients, struggling to book meetings, and just stuck at revenue numbers. So if it's the case that you haven't been able to scale as fast as you want, if you haven't been able to book as many meetings, sign as many clients, then it's most likely because you haven't fully mastered this one thing that I'm going to talk about in this video, and it's how to stand out. So firstly, before we get into it, if you don't know who I am, my name's Welby. I'm the co-founder of Agency Growth Partner. We've been building out client acquisition systems for over 30 plus 6, 7, and 8-figure marketing agencies at this point, helping them stand out, book more meetings, and then sign clients systematically, predictably, and scale up the agency. So the first thing that we need to understand is, why do we need to stand out, right? So the example I like to give is that if you're looking to buy a t-shirt, for example, let's say you're looking to buy a black t-shirt and you see 10 options in the store and they all look exactly the same. Which one are you going to pick? Right? If they're all exactly the same, exact same fit, exact same material, they're all the same, you're just going to pick the cheapest one, right? Because it makes sense. If everything else is exactly the same, you're going to find the one variable or the one other variable, which is price, right? But in this situation, there's more than one variable. There's price, but then there's also value. So what these, luxury brands, Gucci, Louis Vuitton, all these brands, they can charge 10, 100, 1,000 times more than everyone else for the same black t-shirt, and it's because of the value that they provide up front. Now, the way they provide value is by when people buy it, when people wear, the Gucci, the Louis Vuitton, they get status from it, right? They get status from wearing the products. It becomes more than a black t-shirt. It becomes, they are associated with Gucci, with Louis Vuitton. Now, this is how you can stand out because, they're not competing on price. They're not trying to be the cheapest. In many cases, they're trying to be the most expensive. So the same applies in business. To the prospect, if you're offering, let's say, marketing services, SEO, paid media, Facebook ads, whatever it might be, if you're offering this to the prospect, you look like every single other person offering the same thing. So in many cases, what prospects are going to do is they're going to get onto calls with 10, 20 options, and you're going to be one of them, and they're just going to pick the cheapest one. Right? And this is what happens so many times. But like we said, there's two variables here. The first is price and the second is value. So what we can do in the marketing agency space is provide value up front, which is going to allow you to stand out from everyone else. So what I'm going to do in this video is share exactly why you need to provide value up front, and then exactly how you can do it practically so that you can stand out from other marketing agencies today and start seeing better results in terms of booking meetings, signing clients, and scaling up. So now we understand that we need to stand out if we're looking to book meetings, if we're looking to get attention from the people that we want to work with. That's essential. So we stand out by providing the value up front. So if everything else is the same in terms of the service, our point of differentiation, our point that's going to allow us to stand out is going to be the external factors, the other things besides the actual delivery. So what I want to share are two of the best ways to actually provide value upfront in a very practical sense that you can start using today. And the first one is proof, right? This is one of the simplest ways of providing value, because when people speak to you, right, the only reason that they don't buy, because you offer services that make them money, the only reason that they wouldn't buy is because they don't believe the claims that you are making. And the best way to make someone believe the claims that you are making is to give proof of people that are exactly the same as the person you're speaking to. So that is why case studies, that is why social proof, that is why testimonials are so effective, because it directly shows what you've done for someone exactly the same as them. So the first way to stand out is by your past work. This is your point of differentiation. Everyone can say that they'll generate an extra 10K, 100K, million for your business with SEO, but how many people have done it for this case study, and this case study? So if we're doing any sort of outreach for your business, for your agency, we need to emphasize the results, the transformation, what you've done in the past versus the actual delivery mechanism. So to the prospect, the delivery mechanism is so similar that, any sort of talk about Google ads or keywords or content, it's all going to sound so similar to them, and they're not really going to understand it to the degree that you do. Because if they did, they would just run the marketing themselves. So that's number one. That's the first way to provide value, just speaking about the things that you've already done, making it extremely transparent, making it extremely outcome focused. So instead of saying, yeah, we helped them with the SEO and the website and the Google ads, you talk about the transformation. By doing these things, they were able to generate these outcomes and the same outcomes that you want. Now, the next way to stand out, and what I've been seeing across the board, across the industry in 2023, is education/value-based marketing. So what this is providing education, providing information upfront that allows the prospect to get value before any sort of sell, any sort of initiation of a fee, so that the prospect can see results from day one without actually having to, make the purchase. So what this looks like is similar to this video, making content. How can you help your prospect to get the outcomes that they want without you having to do it for them, right? And if you can do that and they can see results come from it, then they're going to be like, okay, this is already proven to work. He's helped me to make money without even, buying his service. Let's work with him. As opposed to all the other people with no website and who've never made content in their lives. So this is again going to be a point of differentiation. I can't tell you how many times people have got onto calls with me saying that they want to work with me as opposed to everyone else because they've seen the YouTube, right? They've seen the content, they've gotten value from it, and now they want to work with us as opposed to any other person offering even a similar service, right? And it's that easy. Just provide value on what you're already doing every single day to the people that you want to work with. And you can do this on YouTube, you can do this on LinkedIn, you can do this on Twitter. Wherever your ideal prospects congregate, this is where you put the value out, and very easily they'll see it, and then you can reach out to them and they'll be much more likely to actually want to speak to you because of this upfront value. So these are the two high-level principles of providing the value. The first is proof, the second is education. But now what I want to do is go even deeper into how you can implement this for yourself. So one example of the way you can do this in your actual outbound, besides, for example, making YouTube videos, making content, is instead of going straight for a close, going straight for a sale in the actual outreach, what we like to do personally is offer more information. So what most people do in their outreach is they make it extremely hard close. So what they like to do is say, hey, we do this, buy my stuff, right? Hey, we do SEO, buy my SEO, sign up, click the link to buy it. And the problem is this never works. So the way that we can change this, the way that we can implement the principles that I mentioned before is making it more educational. So what we like to do in our outreach is structure it in a very simple way. We just like to start with talking about the proof, saying, hey, we helped this company to get this outcome. Then we go into the education. Would you be open to getting onto a call where I can explain how we did this for them, right? So we're combining the two principles that we spoke about before, right? We start with the case study showing that we've done it before. Then we offer education as opposed to just asking for the sale. So then they get onto a call, we review the current situation, figure out where they are, where they want to be, and then say how we could potentially help them get there. That's it. And people really respect that. People really like that because it's not some hard close, it's not some hard selling, there's no pressure involved. It's purely logical and it's purely based on the two principles I mentioned before. And that leads into the final point on consultative selling versus the hard close, right? In our sales process, it's extremely casual. All I'm doing on the calls is just asking some basic questions, figuring out their goals, their problems, and then walking through how we solve these problems and goals for other agencies exactly like theirs. So there's no hard pitch, there's no crazy close. It's literally just me saying, this is what we did. Would you like the same? They can say yes, they can say no. In many cases, it's a no-brainer, so they would say yes all the time. But besides that, it's very easy to do, and it's a much easier approach to selling. There's no pressure, and I'd highly recommend it because, with so many options, people don't want to get onto these high-pressure calls because they can just take a call with 10,000 other people in the inboxes. So what I'd highly recommend is using these two principles of providing value upfront, firstly with case studies, with proof, with evidence, and secondly with education, right? How can you provide value to the market without actually selling them on anything? So if you found this useful, subscribe to the channel and I will talk to you in the next one.